Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. What I want to talk about in this video is something that really made my mind snap just like that. And you're probably wondering, what in the heck am I talking about? Okay. Well, I'm talking about San Francisco and the use of robots given the ability to use lethal force. Okay. There was some kind of vote going on among the politicians and law enforcement that's basically up in the air as to whether or not they will allow these robots to use lethal force. Now, when I first read the headline for that article, which I'm about to get into right now, first thing clicked in my mind is like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go with the dystopia. It's on the way. Now, I know that may sound like an alarmist kind of mentality, but I believe some very dark things are being pushed forth here a little bit at a time. So I'm going to read a portion of this article, and then when I'm finished, I'm going to give you my commentary on what I think this all means. I think that there's something being set in play here. So let's get right into this article. And it starts off, San Francisco supervisors voted Tuesday to pause a move by law enforcement agencies to use robots for deadly force. Notice they paused the move to use robots for deadly force. The reverse follows a public preview of the plan that generated fierce protests led by civil liberties groups angry at the prospect of police being allowed to deploy robots to kill criminal suspects. Really? Now, why would they be angry about that? Why would they be angry about these robots being able to kill killer suspects? These are killer suspects. Why would the people be angry at these robots having the ability to do that? These are killer suspects, right? These are suspects that want to kill people. So why would the people be angry and protest against that? I think there's something deeper here. Let's go on. Instead of granting final authorization to the policy in the second of two required votes, the Board of Supervisors reversed courses and voted 8-3 to explicitly prohibit police from using remote-controlled robots with lethal force, the San Francisco Chronicle's report. The matter has now been sent back to a committee for further discussion and could vote in the future to let police use robots in a lethal manner in limited cases. So this situation is on hold right now. Okay. The board voted last week to allow the use of deadly robots in extreme circumstances. Emphasis mine. The police department said it had no plans to arm the robots with guns, but wanted the ability to put explosives on them and use them to contact, incapacitate, or disorient dangerous or armed suspects when lives are at risk. Sounds reasonable, right? And it's crazy because right here, I'm looking at a photo of a lady with the mask on, this big mask on. These people in these masks. Oh, my goodness. And she's holding a picture up with her left hand, right? She's holding a picture up. It's kind of like orange with orange letters at the bottom behind a black background. And there's a robot with an extended robotic arm. There's like a car, like it looks like a car with an extended robotic arm. And at the top of the arm is a bomb. And this title says no killer robots. Now, why is she, like I said, I asked earlier, why is it that these people are so against these killer robots? Evidently, according to law enforcement, these killer robots are supposed to be allowed to kill dangerous criminals, right? Let's go on. Let's go on. Excuse me. AP reports 3 supervisors who rejected the policy from the beginning joined dozens of protesters Monday outside City Hall to urge the board to change course. They chanted and held signs with phrases like, "We all saw that movie, no killer robots." Supervisor Dean Preston, see, they already admit we all saw that movie. So they're already admitting predictive programming. We'll go further. Some of you may have heard of that term before, but we're going to go further than this. Supervisor Dean Preston was among them, and on Tuesday, he told his colleagues the public hadn't been given enough time to voice their concerns about such a pressing issue. Of course they haven't been. The people of San Francisco have spoken loud and clear. There is no place for killer robots, police robots in our city, he said in a statement after the vote. We should be working on ways to decrease the use of force by local law enforcement, not giving them new tools to kill people. True to some extent, but what does he exactly mean by that? Because what I understand is that San Francisco is mostly liberal. Some San Francisco officials wanted to proceed with allowing robots to use deadly force in certain cases, arguing nothing substantive have changed to warrant a reversal. But the vote to advance the broader police equipment policy, including a ban on lethal robots, passed unanimously. And that's all I'm going to read right there. That's all I'm going to read right there. I'll let you guys read the rest of that article on your own free time, if you would so like. But that's all that we need to talk about right there, because I just want to get right into the commentary. I want to get right into what I think the bigger picture is. Now, you guys probably already know what I'm about to say. And some people may disagree with this. So, look, this is my opinion. This is my opinion based on what I've been studying and reading about down through the years. This is before I got particularly involved politically with anything, but I have been reading on a lot of different books from researchers who had been dealing with advanced technology and the type of technology that is out there that the military has and that the government knows about, but it's not mainstream at this point. Okay. Because if they make this stuff mainstream, everybody's going to start protesting. Everybody's going to start, wait a minute, hold it, wait, what are you trying to do? And basically what I believe this is, even though this is put on hold in San Francisco, people are protesting against it and saying we're not for it, we don't want killer robots. What I believe that this is the seed for, they're setting the foundation for, as the article goes on to say. Well, actually, let me take that back. I was reading another article on the same subject in the Epoch Times. And what it mentioned there was a group of people saying that we don't want the militarization of the police force. The reason why we don't want this is because they believe that the police force in the country is being militarized. And I find that interesting because some years ago, I was reading about a quote that Obama had basically said when I believe he was doing his second term. I might have been doing the second term, when he basically put out a statement about militarizing the police all over the country. Now, why would a president put out a statement like that? Why would he put something out like that? Because I believe, based on my studies and readings down through the years, that the purpose is to create a police force that will keep everyone in line and will arrest anyone and throw anyone in jail who dissents to what the government wants. There will be no more free speech, period. The Constitution will be completely destroyed and suppressed. There will be no more freedom of religion, which means you can go to your church or your mosque or your whatever, and you can worship, but your worship will be submitted to what the government wants, not what you want. You will not be able to preach and teach what you want in your own sanctuary, wherever that may be. Won't be freedom of religion, won't be freedom of speech, won't be any freedom of the press. The press will be completely controlled by the government. Okay? Anyone who dissents to this will be subjugated to this militarized police force, which will have killer robots that will breach your home and either shoot or kill you or anybody else that dissents. Now, that may sound like out of the box thinking, but in situations like this, you got to think outside the box. Now, that individual, the particular line within the article where the person says, we saw the movie, we don't want these kind of things going on. We saw the movie, no killer robots. What they are acknowledging is a concept known as predictive programming. Predictive programming is a scientific term that means that in movies and music, the individuals that make the movies are particularly trying to brainwash and prepare the viewers for something that is going to happen in the future. The purpose is to basically make the viewer submit to what they're trying to put out without resisting, without coming against it. So when there is this militarization of the police, and when there is this time where there will be robots, killer robots, riding around looking for people who dissent to the government, people will not dissent. They will not resist. They will not protest like these people are doing today. That's what predictive programming is. And you see it in the movies all the time. I had a discussion with one of my employees a week or so ago about the craziness that was going on at Tower City last week. You know, for the last like couple of weeks now, Tower City has been having these major events every weekend now. And it's supposed to be to celebrate Christmas, right? But yet they'll be down on the first level of the mall playing hip hop music. Now you may say, wait a minute, you know, what's wrong with playing hip hop music? Well, number one, I hate modern day hip hop music. That's just me. I hate it. It stinks. Okay. The people can't rap. But in addition to the fact that they can't rap, in my opinion, most of them can't. The music is very subversive and it sends a negative energy out. So they're playing this rap music. They're supposed to be Christmas, but these are not Christmas rap songs. These are subversive rap songs that have nothing to do with Christmas. They're playing this music. It's sending out the wrong energy and drawing the wrong kind of people. So we having all kinds of chaos in the mall. And as I was talking to the security officer on my job, we was talking about movies and so forth. And I was surprised at how in the now, or in the know she was, rather, not in the now, but in the know she was. And she was talking about predictive programming, and it's in the movies. They're telling you what they want to do. And I don't know how the conversation came up to that, but she the one initiated that. I just sit back and listen. I sit back and listen to people talking to see where they are, to see how aware they are, to see how truly woke they are. And I'm not talking about this liberal nonsense where they say, you know, you need to be woke. You're not woke. You're sleeping. That's an oxymoron from the liberal left. When they say be woke, that's an oxymoron. You're not woke, you sleep. To be truly woke is to truly see through what these people are actually doing, what the government is actually doing, what these major corporations are actually doing, which is to put everybody to sleep, to rock them to sleep so that they would not resist the dystopian government that is coming. The good news is that when you protest or when you expose this type of stuff and you talk about this type of stuff and you resist it and you push back, it takes it longer to happen. So we may not be able to stop it, but we can certainly slow it down. That's the good news. But this is what I believe is this is all about. It will be against us. It will be against people like you and I who dissent against the government. These killer robots that will eventually come on the scene will be just like a episode of a sci-fi series that comes on Netflix. We haven't had any new ones recently, but I think it's called Dark Mirrors. Excellent, excellent sci-fi show. I try to recommend it to people all the time. And there's an episode in that particular series, sci-fi series, where it's filmed completely in black and white. Okay, and it's about these robots, killer robots that look just like the killer robot in the imagery in that article I just read. It's supposedly coming from San Francisco. These killer robots, I mean, it's at the end of the world, basically. I mean, it's like a dystopian world, filmed in black and white. And these killer robots are going after a group of people who supposedly, I think, is resisting or coming against a certain government mandate or whatever. And these killer robots are coming after them, and they look like mechanical dogs. They have the head, they have the legs, they can run, and they have guns. And some of you may have seen this. They have guns that can blow your head clean off. I mean, it's one of the best sci-fi episodes I've seen on Dark Mirror. I love Dark Mirror, period, anyway. I love it. It's an awesome, awesome modern day sci-fi series. But that was one of their best. And when I watched that particular episode, I knew that that was predictive programming. They're telling you what they're going to do. so that when it happens, you won't resist, because your mind would be so subjugated and brainwashed to the conditioning from the movies and the music that there's nothing in you to resist. You be like, okay, no big deal. When all the time you've been watching these movies, you sitting up hooping and hollering and woo, this is so awesome. Look at the special effects. Look at this and look at that. All the time, they're putting you under mind control. They're manipulating your perceptions. They're basically subjugating you to what they're going to do in the future. So when it happens, you won't resist it. Predictive programming. This is what I think is coming. This is what I think is coming. This is the beginning of it. I don't think it at all has anything to do with stopping criminals and all this kind of stuff. That's what they tell you. And in fact, some of the law enforcement individuals may be thinking along that line. I'm pretty sure some of them are thinking along that line. But the higher ups at the very top, okay, and I hope this video don't get taken down, but the ones at the very top. So you got to understand the way this world operates. The world operates on a hierarchical system. Okay? It operates on a hierarchy system. Those at the very top dispense information to those that are down at the below. Okay? The way those at the very top of the pyramid, so to speak, maintain power is they don't reveal everything to the people at the bottom. The people at the bottom, as it goes further down, is giving information for those that are on top. What am I saying? These law enforcement officers receive information about these killer robots from people on top. Okay? We want to push this idea because we have a bigger vision. We have a bigger agenda. That bigger agenda is absolute total control of every individual in the world. But a lot of people are going to resist. So let's make them think they have options. Let's make them think that they have choices. But in reality, when we push back and we say, no, we don't want this, we actually delay what they actually want. We delay what the elites actually want. We will not stop it because I believe it's eventually going to happen according to the Bible. Yes, I'm mentioning the Bible. I believe it's going to eventually happen, but we can slow it down by talking about it and saying, no, I disagree with that. But that's how I go. The information is dispensed a little bit at a time. This person at the bottom, the ones at the very bottom of the pyramid, guess who that is? That's you and I. That's you and I. They see us as slaves, as sheep, okay, who follow the leader everywhere they go. And that's how a lot of people are. Whatever the government say, whatever these politicians say, I'll go with it. They don't ever think for themselves. And that's how the elite want it. They don't want anybody thinking for themselves. And as the higher you go up, the more power and control there is until you get to the very top of the pyramid. You know, as far as I'm going to go, I ain't going to say much else after that. But at the very top of that pyramid is someone giving information and revelation and knowledge to the ones at the lower levels. And the ones at the lower levels give information and knowledge to the ones below them. But it's all compartmentalized. They're only given bits and pieces so that it would not see the bigger picture. That's what's going on here. But see, those that read and study, you can see the bigger picture. And I believe that's what's going on here, in my opinion, okay? My opinion based on my reading and studying down through the years. What do you guys think this is? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.